Well, the Republican tax cut plan is on shaky ground already because according to some reports, not everyone would actually see a tax cut, especially after the next few years go by. Hey, everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 a.m. KFYO. House Republicans on the defensive, according to Politico, after a new analysis shows that some middle-class income folks would see a tax increase under a new plan by the Republicans, while most taxpayers, around 61%, would see their taxes fall within the next 2 years. Almost one-fifth would pay higher taxes by 2027. 46% that year would get a tax cut, while more than a third would actually see only small changes in their tax bills, totaling less than $100, which really won't get you very far if you want to call that a tax cut. Reading here, Senator Ted Cruz, who came out earlier on Tuesday, said he's a no vote as of right now on the tax bill. And the reason why, not everyone's getting a tax cut, and especially middle-income families aren't seeing as big of a tax cut as has been promised in the past. Senator Cruz saying, quote, "The House and Senate, I think we need to do even more to provide a tax cut, not just tax reform, but a tax cut for every American," which, voters would actually appreciate that. Reading here from just some of the differences that we are seeing within this tax law, the debate comes as Ways and Means Committee considers the legislation this week. Lawmakers aiming to put it to a full vote by the House by Thanksgiving, though that's, I think, going to be a little bit iffy. Senate Republicans slated to unveil their own tax overhaul plan later on this week. Part of the reason some could see their taxes actually go up because of House Republicans is because the Republicans want to replace personal exemptions, which adjust tax burdens for family size with new family credits. Credits would see an increase in child tax credit to $1,600 per child. That's up from right now $1,000, as well as a new $300 credit for non-child dependents and a family flexibility credit. But those provisions would not be enough to make up for the difference for many families, and the new credits would expire after 5 years, which won't help a lot of people in 5 years. Also in this, you have this. Report found widely varying outcomes within individual groups. By 2027, about 23% of those earning between $50,000 and $75,000 a year would actually see a tax increase. At the same time, 42% of people in that group would see a tax cut of about $500 or so, which is great, but it could be better. Senator Marco Rubio, he wants more on this one. And let's not forget some of the more controversial things in this. The Republicans would get rid of the adoption deduction, which a lot of pro-life Republicans have come out and said that is a non-starter, but Republicans have it in their bill. So right now, if you go out and adopt, you can at the end of the year you can get a tax deduction for the cost of that adoption. Republicans want to scrap that in this bill. I actually don't see that happening because the GOP, as the pro-life party, would look pretty silly if they went forward with this. Also, the educator supply deductions, where educators go out, they purchase supplies for the classroom. They are eligible for up to a $250 deduction. That has been wiped out in this. Also, student loan interest deduction has been wiped out by the GOP bill. Not a lot of people happy on that one. And then also some home mortgage deductions would be wiped out as well. Obviously, some people pretty upset about that. In fact, I've seen some reports that for those homes that are priced $500,000 and up, that it would actually hurt the home values and home sales for those homes in many large cities across the United States. That's obviously something that Republicans are going to have to iron out. I don't think we're anywhere close to a deal right now when it comes to tax cuts and tax reform. I think Republicans need to go back to the drawing board, make sure that every American gets tax credits, and if you're going to be the pro-life party, you need to rethink this idea about getting rid of the adoption deduction part, because that's something that a lot of people have been taking advantage of, and a lot of people should be taking advantage of that. If you're the pro-life party, need to stick to it. And don't forget this tax reform bill and other bills that have been put forward by Republicans still fund Planned Parenthood. So pro-life party kind of need to act like it. Tune in to the Chad HD Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 a.m. KFYO. Follow me on Twitter, Chad HD Radio. We'll talk to you later.